Welcome back to the channel. I am out in Half Moon Bay, California and riding my first poker run. The poker run video will be out soon. However, I had a question on one of my videos the other day. Someone asked, they asked my opinion between this RoadKing and the Harley Davidson Heritage. And my response was like, I was actually thinking about both of those, the RoadKing and the Heritage. And if I were to think about the only way you can base a decision, like I don't think like I or anybody can really make that decision for you. I think you have to know what kind of a rider you are, or what your goals are with riding. I know that for me, I loved my initial thing that I liked that got me into Harley Davidson. Well, years ago I had a friend in the Army, and he had a really beautiful, I guess light blue or turquoise, and I think now, when I didn't really know the name then, but it was either a Heritage Classic or a Deluxe, and it was just a beautiful motorcycle. And when I finally started thinking about getting a motorcycle, I wasn't sure what to get either, and I definitely didn't want a Harley to start with, just because when I walked on the showroom floor, they're just so expensive. But that said, when I sat on the Harley Deluxe, I just like, it just felt comfortable, nice and low, and it just reminded me of my friend's motorcycle and how nice it was. And I really liked the black and chrome and white wall tires, and I told myself, this is it, this is the bike, this is the Harley Davidson Deluxe is gonna be for me when I'm ready. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I started off with a Vulcan 900 Classic, which was a great bike. It's kind of that Harley Davidson look-alike, but really nice bike. And I don't mean anything by that it's trying to look like a Harley. It just does have that classic look, and I really liked it. Then once I had that, and I was disappointed when Harley discontinued the Deluxe. I was like, wow, I can't believe it. How can they do that? And you know, one thing that I learned when I had my Vulcan 900, it was a lot like stripped down like a Deluxe, meaning no bags, no cruise control. It was just, you know, a boulevard motorcycle. And as I started riding, I said, well, I need bags, so I bought bags. And then I upgraded the seat as well, but that was just personal. But I definitely needed bags. And so when I started looking at Harleys, I was like, well, I really like the Deluxe. They were out. They're not making them anymore. So I started looking at the Heritage, because as I rode my Vulcan, I realized that I really wanted to have a windshield. It just, you know, you do get beat up by this wind on freeways, or even roads like this. It's protecting me from the cold. So now I was okay. I know I need bags, and I know I need a windshield. So that's when I said, well, the Heritage is very much like the Deluxe, and it has that nice kind of smaller frame than a touring model, and I really liked it. And you know, that's a good thing in terms of, it's good to start off with something affordable, in my opinion, if I were to give a recommendation to anybody, and just see once you start riding what you think you want to do now and what you want to do once you start riding may change. And you can't, and the advice again that I would give is you cannot just you cannot make a decision on the very first motorcycle, because things may change. So I started looking at the Heritage. I really liked it. I was like, it has a windshield, it comes with bags, it comes with cruise control, it's still that smaller frame just like the Deluxe, although I really wanted the Deluxe, but it was easier because I already knew what I wanted. I needed to carry stuff, and even if the Deluxe still existed, or if there was a nice used one, I know I couldn't get it, because it wouldn't be functional. And to me, I like the Deluxe as is. It looks so nice just the way it is that I wouldn't want to put bags on it. So that's why I was looking at the Heritage. And when I say looking, I wasn't really looking to buy yet. I was still, you know, getting re-entry in the motorcycle world with the Vulcan. But I knew the Deluxe was out. And then I saw the RoadKing, and the RoadKing was nice, but I was like, no, that's too big. My goals at that time, what I've learned with the Vulcan is obviously what I just said, you know, the windshield and the bags. And once the world was opening back up again, I wanted to start riding to work. And maybe not every day, but for when I want to ride, you know, I wanted to have something that's a little smaller, especially here in California where we're allowed to lane split and I can go through traffic. You know, having that, I think I would just have much more confidence in that on the Heritage. And I don't know if you don't, I'd be surprised if any of you watching me now have, especially if you're into Harley Davidson, and if you haven't seen Matt Laidlaw videos, he's Laidlaw Harley Davidson out of Southern California. He has a really good video on the Heritage versus the RoadKing. And I think that helped me as well, because I started thinking, well, what's my goals? Right now, I want to go to work, just drive around. The Heritage can meet that, but eventually I'd like to go on long road trips. And I would also like to have my wife come with me. So actually looking at the actually after I watched the Matt Laidlaw video, you know, he was describing I think he was being nice depending on your stature. You know, he would, if you're a bigger kind of guy, he would recommend the RoadKing. And if you're smaller, and again, depends on your ride, you can't go wrong with the Heritage either. And because, you know, I'm big in stature, if you will, to use the same words that Matt shared. And this has the touring frame. The passenger seat is bigger for more comfort for my wife. It comes with the floorboards for the passenger, crash bars, and everything else that the Heritage had in terms of the windshield and cruise control. Although I did like the Heritage, I like the blacked out one that was 114. It would have been, I really liked even the bottom half of the windshield on how it's all blacked out. I was thinking if I put a bag there, no one's going to be able to see it. It's kind of like my little hidden spot right here. But again, because I know I want to go on longer road trips, I keep talking to my uncle who also has a couple of Harley Davidsons that, you know, he lives in Milwaukee. Yeah, I think it's Milwaukee. And it'd be nice for us to meet somewhere in the middle of the country, maybe Mount Rushmore. So it's trips like that. And one of the things that I didn't like, and as far as I know still today, with even the Deluxe or the Heritage, as much as it looks really nice, it's the spoke rims. I like them, but if you get a flat tire, and what I'm getting at is from what I understand today, you really can't fix it. It has to be towed away because they need to fix the tube. So that was a deterrent for me. I was like, man, I don't want to go on a road trip and have a flat. I just watched a video the other day with someone, I forget what kind of motorcycle it is, and they had spoke rims and they said they were tubeless. So I don't think they've changed on the Harley Davidson. So if you're interested in that, and that seems to be like something you wouldn't want to worry about, I would always double check. If I find it out, I'll add it in the description or some kind of correction in the video. But that was another reason why I didn't want that. That's one of the reasons, I should say, that I started looking more towards the RoadKing. And although I'm not sure if the video is going to be out before this one, but I already took a road trip on this one alone to Southern California, which is about 7 hours from where I was and to where I went, and it was really comfortable. I mean, yeah, you still need to stop and take breaks and stretch out, but I have no complaints with how this motorcycle handled. I'm sure the Heritage would be comfortable as well, but again, I have no regrets because it was just smooth on this Road King. So I think that's really the main reasons. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think if you're shopping for a Harley Davidson Heritage or a Road King, just really think about what is it you're going to use it for. I say if you're going to go on short road trips and just hang around town, not too far, just some short runs, then maybe that's the Heritage is for you. Especially if you get the 114, it's a lighter motorcycle. You'd probably be a lot more peppier or pick up more speed. Yeah, and not only that, to be honest, if you're out shopping for a Harley Davidson, I mean, I left the Vulcan 900, and the Vulcan 900 was paid off. And getting into the Harley Davidson, I financed it. So it was a big decision knowing that you're going to be fine for a few years, be paying on a motorcycle. So it's important to make the right decision. And if you're going against the Heritage and the Road King standard, you have a good problem on your hands. I think you'll be happy either way. It just comes down to what are the functional requirements that you need. Long road trips. If you're going to have a rider on the back, do they need more space or a bigger seat? And the weight of both of you combined onto that motorcycle, because these touring models can handle more weight. So you really can't go wrong. But they're two good motorcycles. It just comes down to your needs and what you end up doing. So that was my thought process. And yes, I thought when I bought the Road King, it's just too big for me. The dealer I bought it from was about an hour and a half. They're the only dealer out of every dealer that I walked into, and I shared this in another video, that they just didn't have any inventory. And the first dealer that I walked into, an hour and a half from me, said, "Oh, you want us to order you one?" And I was like, "What? Why didn't anyone else offer this?" Anyway, what I'm getting at is, when I sat on it, it just felt right. They had a used one. I think it was about a year older than this one. And if you look at Road Kings, they haven't, at least from their looks, haven't changed much. And their height, maybe their height a little bit, I don't know, but it felt right. It was only, I think it was a 2020, and this is the 21. So there wasn't much difference between the two. And since I was new, coming from a Vulcan 900, I didn't feel comfortable driving this. So I had it delivered to my house so I can take it slow. And I did it just like I did on the Vulcan 900. I started around my neighborhood. Then I started going, outside the neighborhood, and just, I didn't want to push it. I wanted to be super safe. And it took me forever to get past that break-in period. Then I just finally decided to go on a long ride and back home just so I can get it. Another video coming. I have so many videos just sitting there that need to be edited. But I have no regrets because it meets my future needs with road trips coming. It'll be comfortable for my wife and I on the motorcycle because it's a touring model. It's bigger. It has, instead of pegs, it has floorboards for her. It has crash bars. And to be honest, one of the things I didn't really like about the Heritage when I look at it, on video anyway, but when you walk up to it, it's not too bad, is that weird kind of like, I don't know, alligator design that they have around the seats. The RoadKing has these weird kind of chrome buttons on it, but I didn't really like the bags that much. But it was going to meet my needs until I started thinking about long road trips. So let me know what you think. Does this help? If there's anything I can do to help in terms of the RoadKing, now that I've been on a road trip, and if I'm over 4,000 miles on this now, I'm happy to answer. And I'll be honest, I'm not a salesman. I don't get paid by Harley. I enjoy the motorcycle, but I'll be honest. Feel free to let me know. What are your long-term goals? What are your right now goals? What are your long-term goals? And part of the long-term goals, the reason it's good to think about that is if you're going to be paying on the motorcycle for a few years, you're definitely going to have it for a few years. You know, some 3 to 5 or who knows how long. So I think, don't think of just now. Think about what you would want to do in the future. Well, with that, I'll get back to the poker run I'm on right now. I look forward to reading your comments below. Thanks.